Good morning, everybody. From the road this morning here in Springfield, surveying some of this tremendous damage from a very significant tornado outbreak that occurred overnight here in Springfield, Illinois, the capital of Illinois. We've just been driving around the area from where we live on the southwest side over to the west side and south side, and now heading towards the east side. And every time we turn a corner, we're just amazed at the amount of damage. We're looking at an ATM machine here in the parking lot of a grocery store that the whole top of the ATM building's just been thrown across the parking lot. We've seen power poles this morning from one end of the road to the other just laid over like they were twigs. We've seen large light poles just knocked over like they were Legos this morning. And we've just seen bits and pieces of damage, of all the damage that's occurred. The power's still out to a large part of Springfield. Probably at least 75% of Springfield is without power still this morning. And this is like a war zone. This looks like some of the images that you saw from Hurricane Katrina this morning here in Springfield. Even though a hurricane didn't go through, it looks like a war zone here. I can't really explain it. I'm looking at we're driving underneath some poles here where there used to be street signals, traffic lights, and now they're just wires hanging there, and the traffic lights are nowhere to be found. We were very lucky. The apartment complex just next to us had roofs blown off, sides blown off of the buildings there, so we were extremely lucky. And I think at this point this morning we're counting our blessings. Last night was probably one of the scariest nights I think I've ever been through, and I storm chase. David and I go out, we chase these things, but last night it just came too quick and too fast and was much more severe than what anybody ever expected. And then we had two more rounds, so I don't think we thought we'd ever live the movie Twister, and we came as close as we ever want to be last night. But there was a time there we didn't know whether the roof was going to blow off the building or what that we were in. We were in a theater, and very scary. But it kind of made us realize a lot of the petty stuff that's been going on just, is inconsequential when it comes down to, life and having a place to live, a roof over your head, and just kind of makes you think, kind of humbles you a little bit to realize that, all the crap isn't important, and that you need to be there for your friends. And anyways, that's the latest from the south side of Springfield. David's here driving around. I'll let him say hello for a second. Hello for a second. He's trying to navigate through these this mess down here on the south side as traffic's just backing up coming into the city of Springfield. A lot of people woke up this morning, didn't realize what had happened, and they're calling the radio stations now asking, what's going on. The major bus compound here in Springfield for the school buses actually had significant damage, so they had to call off schools today. That and the fact that there's no power in most places, and that the streets are blocked, so you can't even get to a lot of these schools. But amazing devastation here in Springfield. This is the worst storm in the past 50 years, and definitely will make national news, I'm sure, for the next several days as people continue to discover damage and the cleanup begins. But it's going to be a long while before Springfield gets back on its feet. We're out here. We're alive. We've got a place to stay. No power at the moment, but we're getting by, and we appreciate your thoughts. Good afternoon from the tornado zone again here in Springfield as we continue to survey this damage around the area after getting a few hours rest. At the moment, we can tell you that the governor of Illinois has declared Sangamon County here in Springfield and 5 other counties state disaster areas, and the village of Jerome, which is one of the harder hit areas where in the area where we live on the south side, has initiated a curfew of 8 p.m. until further notice. They had some problems last night during the tornadoes of looting that occurred on the south side near a Meyer department store. There actually was a sofa business that got his windows blown out and looting was occurring there. They actually have brought the SWAT team into the village of Jerome, where a number of businesses are exposed, have been either totally destroyed or have had windows and doors blown off and walls down and such. They brought the SWAT team in to control any possible looting. A gas station where we normally shop had basically its canopy blown away, windows destroyed. There's not much left standing there. Another problem that they're running into is a lot of people just driving around sightseeing, basically, and interfering with some of the cleanup efforts. We've seen trucks with chainsaws and such around town trying to get some of the tree limbs cleared. We've heard estimates of anywhere from 3 to 5 days for some of the areas for power to be restored, including our apartment building. So we're trying to get to a location where at least we'll have some warmth tonight as temperatures go into the 20s. We are trying to get to a hotel and hopefully may have some internet access later on with luck, but at least a place to stay and have some food and be warm tonight. They have opened up Lanphier High School on the north side as an emergency shelter. The Red Cross has, where they're able to feed folks and provide a place for showers and such. The governor has been flying over this afternoon along with the National Weather Service to kind of take a look at the whole situation, the overall picture, and it appears this tornado, as we said this morning, was on the ground for a good distance. They're trying to map out the exact path now, but very serious situation still here in Springfield this afternoon. Not a lot has changed since this morning as far as power being restored, just because of the massive cleanup that's still going on, and winds gusting up to miles an hour, temperatures dropping down into the 20s tonight is not helping the situation at all. But this is becoming more and more clear as we drive around, just the widespread extent of the damage and how significant of a storm this is monetarily, and also for the number of people that have lost homes and don't have any place to go tonight. So we count ourselves among the lucky. But anyways, that's the latest from the disaster area here in Springfield. We're going to head to the north side and try to get a look there and try to give you an update online or back. Good afternoon from the tornado area here in Springfield, Illinois. I'm Larry Estep, continuing on our second day now of round-the-clock coverage of this serious tornado emergency in the city of Springfield and Sangamon County. The governor has declared 5 counties, including Sangamon, disaster areas from this tornado, and federal officials are looking now at the possibility of declaring a federal disaster area. The damage is widespread along a path that stretches from the southwest side of Springfield to the northeast side of Springfield, and the National Weather Service has confirmed that 2 distinct tornadoes occurred, both of them F2 on the Sagitta scale. The National Weather Service and the governor have made flyovers of the area over the past 2 days and surveyed the damage and the hardest hit areas, and have determined that the damage is that of 2 separate tornadoes that touched down during the evening hours on Sunday. Driving through the village of Jerome this afternoon, the cleanup is continuing in many areas as the power remains out to most of the southwest side of Springfield. CWLP estimates at this hour that at least 10,000 customers remain without power, and there is no estimate at this time of when power may be restored to those areas. Additional damage is becoming much clearer today as folks are able to get around into some areas that had been inaccessible over the last 24 to 36 hours, and they're finding even more damage than what was originally thought to some of the properties such as the businesses and hotels along I-72 near Veterans Parkway. Just over in that area, the roofs had been blown off most of the hotels, and there are only 2 hotels operating on the south side of Springfield at this time in the Veterans Parkway corridor due to this tornado. Luckily, at this hour, we still can report that there have been no fatalities from this tornado, and there have been a couple of dozen injuries, although none of them have been life-threatening. Roadways are still impassable in many areas today as cleanup crews try to remove debris and power lines and trees from the roadway, and the police are trying to keep a close eye on areas that do not have power and have damage, as there has been some looting. The Springfield SWAT department was brought out to patrol the village of Jerome yesterday and continues to roadblock the area today to keep onlookers and sightseers out of the area and protect the businesses that have been seriously damaged. The Home City Ice Company on the Stanford Avenue connector on the south side of Springfield has been virtually destroyed today. Pallets of ice sit melting in the sun as there's no way to get into the building. Good evening, everybody. This evening from Morgan County and the town of Murrayville, where there is no power tonight. And Larry Estep with this update on the devastating tornado damage across central Illinois. We've been out this evening with crews from KTVI Channel 16 in St. Louis and also Fox 2 in St. Louis, surveying some of this damage here in Morgan County, the rural community and town of Murrayville, which is about 12 miles south of Jacksonville along 267. And this evening we've been finding a lot of stories of narrow escapes from this devastating tornado that came through the town of Murrayville. Murrayville town official this evening telling us that at least 60% of the homes in Murrayville have significant damage to them, and nearly 40% are totally destroyed. We've seen roofs carried across fields, and we've seen a cemetery where tombstones were toppled, grain silos twisted and thrown across empty fields as if they were simply pieces of candy. And this evening we're seeing the evidence of a clear path through Morgan County and Murrayville as the tornado came from Whitehall and moved into the southwest corner of this small town in central Illinois. A town of around 700 people. The town has pulled together and media has came from all directions to cover this story of the town pulling together and trying to provide comfort and shelter for those that have went homeless from this storm and those who are without power and heat at this hour. A very serious situation here in Morgan County. Power remains out to all of this area, and the folks in Jacksonville are counting themselves lucky as the storm passed south of Jacksonville along 67 and up Interstate 72. IDOT trucks are out in the area trying to clear debris. There are still many side and rear roads that are not passable at this hour, and they're not well marked with roads that have debris on them. You can turn a corner.